All right, ladies and gentlemen, so today we're going to be getting into actually solving these inequalities. And the best part is that it's still the exact same process as when we solved an equation. We just have to do one additional thing, which is to graph the solution on a number line. So our goal is to still get the variable alone. So we're going to start off kind of with the easy ones, which means if you didn't quite get it the first time, now you have a second chance to get it. So for number one, n minus 5 is less than or equal to 2. So my goal is to get n by itself. I have to cancel subtracting 5. To do that, we have to add 5. What I do to one side, I do to the other, just like as if it was an equation. The only difference is that now we have to keep the less than or equal to symbol and the 7. Now I have to graph it, and instead of giving you full number lines, because sometimes you don't need a full number line, we've given you just a piece of one and you have to fill in the numbers. So whatever you get as your answer here is going to go in the center, and then you're going to put in 2 numbers higher and 2 numbers lower. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now I can make my picture. The circle goes at the 7. I look to see, does it have the or equal to, because that tells me whether or not I have to color it in. It has it, so I color it in. I need numbers that are less than 7. Well, 5 and 6 are less than 7, so we're going to shade and go to the left. Right? Taking what we did in the very first part of the chapter with what we did yesterday, and now we get this. So x plus 3 is greater than 9, so I have to subtract 3 from both sides. So x is greater than 6. Fill in some numbers, so we're going to have 6, 7, 8, 4, 5. Put in my circles. So my circle goes at 6. It doesn't have the or equal to, which means it's going to stay open. And we're going to go to numbers that are bigger, which are to the right. Right? And you can test it. Is 7 greater than 6? Yes. So I went the correct way. All right, down here for number 2, have to get p by itself, so I'm going to add 1 to both sides. So p is greater than -2. So -2 is going to go in the center, and this is with negatives. For some reason, all of you guys seem to mess this up. So when I get bigger, that's -1 and 0. Smaller is -3, -4. And I have a lot of people who usually put that backwards. So we're going to put our open circle at -2. It doesn't get colored in because there's no or equal to line. P is greater than -2, so greater than means I go to the right. All right. Doesn't matter that I have decimals because I have calculators to help me if I need it. So h plus 9.2 is greater than or equal to 12.3. I'm going to subtract 9.2. So h is greater than or equal to 3.1. So now when I put this on my number line, I'm going to go up by tenths. So 3.1, 3.2, 3.3, 3.0, 2.9, which I know got a little messy, sorry. My circle goes at 3.1. It has the or equal to, so I'm going to color that in. And it is greater than, so I'm going to shade to the right. All right, let's try. I'm going to have you pause it in a second to have you try number 5 by itself, but I want to do number 6. So here I have r, which means I have to subtract 14. So that's -3 is greater than or equal to r. So I'm going to put in -3, -2, -1, -4, -5. All right. Put my circle. Hopefully we're getting better at this. It has the or equal to, so I color it in. But now we have to think about this, because in all my other problems, my variable's been on my left. Now my variable's on my right. So -3 has to be greater than whatever r is. So normally we think, oh, greater than, I'm going to shade to the right. But if I pick that, let's say I pick -1. Is -3 greater than -1? It's not, which means I'm not going to go to the right. I have to go to the left. So when your variable's on the right-hand side, it's actually your arrow's going to go the opposite. And again, I'll have you pause it in a little bit to try number 5. So if a is a negative integer, then which of the following sentences below is true? If the sentence is not true, give a reason. So I'm going to pick a negative integer. So let's say I pick, I'm going to let a equal negative 2. I'm going to try to keep it simple. So let's see here. If I do 5 plus negative 2 is less than 5. Is that a true statement? Well, 5 plus negative 2 is 3. Is 3 less than 5? Yes. That makes sense. If I come over here, negative 2 minus 5 is greater than or equal to 5. Well, let's see. Negative 2 minus 5 is negative 7. Is negative 7 greater than or equal to negative 5? No. All right, so that is not true. All right, write an inequality. 4 more than a number is no more than, all right, so 4 more than a number, 4 plus a number, I'm going to let it be x, is no more than 13. So that means that's the biggest it can be, but then it could also be less than or equal to. And if you remember on our very first page of notes is where we, no more than is going to be this symbol right here. So you can always refer back to that. All right, sorry, getting back over here. And it didn't ask me to do anything with it, it just wanted me to write the inequality. The difference means to subtract, of a number and negative 6 is greater than 9. You could also rewrite this as x plus 6 because you could do lead, change, flip, either one. All right, steps for adding and subtracting inequalities. So you cancel your constant. And then we're going to graph. Pretty easy, I hope. So pause it and then come back and check your answer for number 5. All right, so you should have added 4 to both sides, which means f does not equal negative 3. Negative 3 gets an open circle, and then for the not equal to, you go to the left and the right, because it can be anything except negative 3. If you have any questions, as always, bring them to class. Have a good night.